Whole sports all plays. Yeah. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. Whole sports all plays.
All right, what's up? Welcome to Easy Money, a sports betting show here on Wednesday. No, excuse me, today's a Thursday. I'm behind myself. Thursday, April 7th, 2022. A pretty good slate of games to go through today. Opening day of baseball. For all you baseball fans out there, I'm ready to watch some baseball today. See if my Reds can start the season off on a winning note. We'll break down today's NBA games. We'll also break down today's Major League Baseball games as well. We'll talk a little bit of golf. You have Tiger Woods making his return in the Masters. He's through like 15 holes. He's even. So he's had a pretty good day so far. Good start to coming back off the injuries he had. So can't complain about that. All right. Well, let's go ahead. We'll jump right into it. We'll start with the Major League Baseball because you have some of them games already going on or getting ready to start. We'll jump. We'll start right in the baseball, and then we'll talk some NBA. All right. All right, here we go. First game we have in the baseball today. Well, right now you have the Milwaukee Brewers at the Chicago Cubs. This is the only game in action right now. They are in the fourth inning. The Brewers are up 1-0 on the Cubs in the fourth inning. Right now, the Brewers are a minus 280 favorite. Cubs are a plus 215 underdog. And over-under on this game is set to 6. And the Brewers are running a half. run and a half favorite. Next game in the MLB is at 4:11 p.m. Eastern Time, as you have the Cleveland Guardians at the Kansas City Royals. Cleveland is a 1.5 run favorite. They are minus 124 on the money line. The Royals are plus 106 on the money line. Over under for this game is set at 7.5 runs. I think it's going to be a good game. I'm going with Greinke in this game and going with the Royals because Greinke's on the mound. So I'm going to go with the underdog. I'm going to go with the Royals at home at the plus 106 on the money line. And the main reason I'm going with the Royals is because Greinke's on the mound for the Royals. And the next game we have in Major League Baseball tonight, I would go under the 7.5 runs in the Royals and Guardians game. Next game we have starts at 4:16 p.m. Eastern, as you have the Pittsburgh Pirates traveling to the St. Louis Cardinals. The Cardinals are 1.5 run favorites. They are minus 184 on the money line. The Pirates are plus 154 on the money line. Over under for this game is set at 8. The Pirates are starting Brubaker on the mound, and starting for the Cardinals is Adam Wainwright. Like I said, depending on these first few games of the season, it's hard. You don't know what the teams rotate, all the teams rotation you get, and you haven't really seen them play. You've seen them play spring training. The spring training and regular season is a lot different, so it makes it a little bit harder these first games. A lot of these on the first games of the year, I go by pitching matchups a lot, uh, and I made this going to be this is a good pitching matchup here. As you got Brubaker, who had a hell of a season last year against Wainwright. Wainwright's a veteran, been solid for many years. Uh, I made a rule last year for myself. I never bet against Adam Wainwright. Every time I bet against Wainwright last year, he would burn me. So I'm going with the Cardinals tonight, or I should say this afternoon, at the minus 184 on the money line. I like the Cardinals money line. And I like the under the 8. Uh, Under the 8. I know starting pitchers probably aren't going to go real deep in the game. So a lot of these games you're going to want to go the over with Wainwright and Brubaker on the mound. I can see this being a low scoring game probably until maybe the bullpens get involved in the game. So I like the over the 8 for the Pirates and the Cardinals. Next game is the New York Mets at the Washington Nationals. The Mets are 1.5 run favorites. They are minus 118 on the money line. The Nationals are even money. And the over under for this game is set at 9. The Mets had a tough spring training, but they were an offensive leader hitting 294 spring training. You have Corbin on the mound for the Nationals. Corbin's been real solid. The Mets are starting McGill. I don't understand why McGill is starting instead of starting one of your big name starters. For that reason, I like Corbin and the Nationals in this game at the even money on the money line. The next game this evening starts at 8:09 p.m. Eastern Time. It's the game I'm going to be most interested in tonight as the Cincinnati Reds travel to Atlanta to play the Atlanta Braves. Starting for the Reds is Tyler Mahle, and starting for the Braves is Max Fried. The Braves are 1.5 run favorites. They're minus 168 on the money line. The Reds are plus 158 on the money line. Over under for this game is set at 8.5. Uh, this is going to be an interesting game tonight. The Reds, I don't know what the hell they're doing during the offseason. We've traded away and sold everybody, mostly everybody. The only starting pitchers we have left is Tyler Mahle and Castillo. We lost Castellanos, lost Winker, we lost we lost Naquin. We've lost a lot of other players, but the Reds have looked good in spring training, which doesn't happen very often. The Reds the last few years have been terrible in the spring. We look good in spring training. We're on the finished spring training with a 4-game winning streak. Uh, the Braves won their last 2 spring training games. Max Fried is starting for them. The Braves batted 247 spring training as a team. If you go by the numbers, you're going to pick the Braves. But of course, me being a Cincinnati Reds fan, I'm not going to pick against the Braves. I'm going with the Cincinnati Reds for the money line plus 158. If you put money on the game, you're just betting off the numbers and the talent you see on the field. I recommend going with the Braves. But I'm just saying, as a Reds fan, I won't bet against them. And I think I think we're going to win opening day every year. So that's the other reason I don't bet against. I'm going with the Reds on the money line over the Braves tonight. Uh, I like the under the 8.5 in that game as well. The Reds and Braves game because of the starting pitching with Malley and Fried. I can see this. I think this will be a low scoring game until you get to some of the later innings of the game. So I like the under the 8.5. I think if there's a 4-run score, it's going to be more of the damage will be done against the bullpens and what will be done against the starters. Then we have the Houston Astros at the Los Angeles Angels. The Angels are 1.5-run favorites. They are minus 120 on the money line. The Astros are plus 102 on the money line. Over under for this game is set at 8.5. I think it's going to be a fun game today. You have Valdez starting for the Astros, and you have Ohtani pitching for the Angels. Ohtani is always an exciting player to watch. He gets up on the mound, has been pretty dominant on the mound. Dominant on the mound. It has also been dominant at the plate. We haven't seen a guy in baseball be able to do that in major leagues at the level that he's doing it out for a long time. Uh, this is going to be a fun game. The Astros batted 240 as a team during spring training, where the Angels were hitting 283 in spring training. They're showing good power in their lineup. They have Ohtani on the mound tonight. So with all that being said, I'm going with the Los Angeles Angels at the minus 120 on the money line. And I'm going with the under the 8.5 in this game as well. I just think 8.5 is too many runs because of the starting pitching. I think runs will be maybe scored more off the bullpen. I know it's early in the year, so some of the starters are going to get hit. Some I understand that. But with Ohtani and Valdez, I just don't see it happening. So I like the over the 8.5. Where I lean toward in that game. All right. In the last game tonight, you have the San Diego Padres at Padres are 1.5-run favorites. They are minus 136 on the money line. The Diamondbacks are plus 116 on the money line. Over under for this game is set at 9. The Padres had a tough spring training. They were 8-11 or a tough spring. Starting pitcher for the Padres. He was 8-11 last season with a 4.22 ERA and 199 strikeouts. Alfaro has played well as catcher. He was batting 417, 12 RBIs, and 4 home runs in spring training. But the D-backs where I stand on this game, they have Bumgarner on the mound. He was 7-10 last season with a 4.67 ERA with 124 strikeouts. Peralta for the Diamondbacks has a 323 batting average, 5 home runs, and 9 RBIs in spring training. I just think that Bumgarner's going to put together a good pitching game tonight, get off to a decent start. D-backs offense, I think, is going uh, going to get fulfilled. I just think the Padres, they got a new coach. They're still getting some injuries, some piece out. They're still trying to figure some things out. So I'm going with the underdog. I'm going with the Diamondbacks. Plus 116 on the money line. And I would lean toward the under the 9 in this game as well. The Rangers and Blue Jays were supposed to play today. That game has been postponed because of weather. So has the uh, Red Sox Yankees game has been postponed. So that is all of the MLB opening day games for today. So we have one game in progress right now. Before we move on to the NBA, let's do a quick update. Brewers at the Cubs. They're in the 5th inning, and the Brewers are up 1 to nothing. You have the Guardians and Cardinals. The Guardians and Royals will be first pitch at 4:11 p.m. So here in about a half hour. At 4:16, you have the Pirates and the Cardinals. You have a couple games coming up here real soon. Uh, have the Masters going on right now. Tiger Woods is playing well in the first round. I think he's still at even. As soon as they show another update here on the TV, I'll update you guys on that. He's been under par a couple times. Then you get a bogey and go back down. But he's as of right now at even. He's in the top 10. Even for a first round after being out as long as he had, especially recovering from the injuries he had, I think uh, it's pretty damn good. I think he'd be happy with that, and it should set him in good position, especially if he can play well on Friday, be in decent position going into the weekend. As soon as they show an update for the leaderboard, uh, Smith is the leader at 600. So Smith has gotten hot here because he was at he was the leader at like 200 for a long time. Uh, we got Smith as the leader. As soon as they show the leaderboard, or actually, see if I can pull it up here real quick, and we'll move on to the NBA. All right, leaderboard for the Masters. You have Smith at 600 first. M is at second at 400. Willett is third at -3. You got the guys tied at -3 is Willett, Berger, and Neiman all are at 3 under, as well as Scotty Scheffler. Kokrak is the seventh at 2 under. He's tied with Schwartzel for seventh. And then then you have ninth, tied for ninth, you have Higgs at 1 under. Tiger Woods is 1 under through 16 in ninth place. Champ is at 1 under. Connors is at 1 under. Nakajima, you got a big list at 1 under. At 1 under. Dustin Johnson, Ortzel, Salvatores. Tiger Woods is 1 under through 16. That's 5 shots off the lead as Cameron Smith has 4 birdies on the back 9. And he's up to 6 under on his round for today. All right, let's get back to the NBA here. Before we start on the NBA, don't forget we're live Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern with Easy Money, a sports betting show. Come join us. We're giving out winners. We're also happy to announce that Easy Money, a sports betting show, is also streaming live on the ASAP All Sports All Plays Network. Check them out on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter. They're everywhere. We're, we're on their YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch channels right now, as well as we're on the Gonzo Sports Room YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch channels as well. Follow us on social media at Gonzo Sports Room on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Where we post all the information about our shows. We also have a sports talk show, GSR Gonzo Sports Room. You can find it Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays at 11 p.m. on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch at Gonzo Sports Room. We also have a pro wrestling podcast that drops a weekly podcast. 2 episodes drop every Sunday at 9 a.m. You can find out on Apple Podcast, Anchor Podcast, Spotify, Google Podcast, all at Gonzo's Wrestling Room. If you like to watch the video version of Gonzo's Wrestling Room, you can find it on our YouTube page at Gonzo's Sports Room. You can also find Easy Money, a sports betting show, and GSR Gonzo Sports Room in podcast form on all major podcast platforms at Gonzo Sports Room and at Easy Money. There's a lot of different ways that you can find us. Like I said, I want to thank you. If you're new to Easy Money and Sports Betting Show, thank you for joining us. Like I said, we're on the ASAP All Sports Plays Network. We're also on the Gonzo Sports Room Network. But all right, let's jump right into the NBA game, and we'll get to my picks of the day after that. First game we have tonight in the NBA is Orlando Magic at the Charlotte Hornets. The Hornets are 13.5-point favorites. They are minus 1,100 on the money line. The Magic are plus 700 on the money line. Over under for this game is set at 230. The Magic are 21 and 59 on the season. They are 11 and 29 at home, and they are 3 and 8 ATS for the last 11. We're getting down here toward the end of the season. The Magic are eliminated from the playoffs. They don't have nothing to play for. The Hornets are 40 and 39. They've lost 2 straight. It looks like Gordon Hayward's going to be out of this game tonight. They're 5 and 14 ATS for the last 20 home games. The Hornets have a great offense, but they struggle defensively. I think the Hornets win this game. I think 13.5 points is too many. So I'm going with the Orlando Magic at the plus 13.5. Going with the Orlando Magic to cover. And over the 230 would be my suggestion on the total. Next game we have is the Boston Celtics at the Milwaukee Bucks. This is going to be a good game too. The top teams in the East. The Bucks are 8.5-point favorites. They're minus 350 on the money line. The Celtics are plus 280 on the money line, and the over/under for this game is set at 227.5. The Celtics are 50 and 30 on the season. This is a second game of a back-to-back for the Celtics. They beat the Bulls last night. The Bucks are 49 and 30. They're 26 and 14 at home. And Giannis is probable tonight's game with knee soreness. I can see Giannis end up setting out this game. But this is also, I mean, you're still playing for a seed. So I would say he's going to play, actually. They still have something to play for seeding-wise. This is going to be a great game. The Celtics have been hot. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown have been playing well. And the Celtics defensively are playing a lot better now than what they were earlier in the season. But the Bucks have also been playing well. Of course, you have Giannis being dominant as always. Holiday, Middleton, them guys have been playing well. They got off to a slow start this season with injuries. I can see the Bucks winning this game, but I can also see the Celtics winning this game. But 8.5 points is just way, to me, is too many points. I think this is going to be a real close game. So I'm going with the Boston Celtics to cover plus 8.5. And I would say probably over the 227 and a half. All right, next game we have is the Philadelphia 76ers at the Toronto Raptors. Sixers are 2-point favorites on the road. They are minus 126 on the money line. The Raptors are plus 108 on the money line. Over under for this game is set at 220. The Sixers are 49 and 30 on the season. They are on a 3-game winning streak. They are tied for second in the East. They are 1 and 5 ATS for the last 6. So they've been playing well. They've been winning, but they haven't been covering spread. The Raptors are 46 and 33. They have struggled at home as they're under 500 at home. But they are 11 and 4 ATS for the last 15 games. And OG Anunoby looks he's questionable for tonight's game. I like the 76ers at the minus 126 on the money line. I'm not going to mess with the 2 points. I think this will be a close game, but I think the 76ers are going to get the win. All right, next game we have in the NBA is the Portland Trailblazers at the New Orleans Pelicans. The Pelicans are 16.5 point favorites. They are minus 2,200 on the money line. The Trailblazers are plus 1,100 on the money line. Over under for this game is set at 222.5. The Blazers are 27-52 on the season. They are on an 8-game losing streak. They've been just decimated with injuries. Lillard's out for the season. They traded away McCollum. They just between injuries really derailed their season. They're 1-7 ATS their last 8. The Pelicans have been playing a lot better here as of late. They won 4 of their last 5. And they're 7-3 ATS their last 10 games. They have clinched a spot in the play-in tournament. With the Pelicans trading to get McCollum, still no Zion, but Ingram's been playing well. Pelicans have been playing some good basketball here as of late. The 16.5 points, that's just the NBA game. That's too many points for me to give up. I also don't trust the Trailblazers to cover. What I like more in this game would be the over the 222.5. Next game is the San Antonio Spurs at the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Timberwolves are 8-point favorites at home. They're minus 320 on the money line. The Spurs are plus 260 on the money line. Over under for this game is set at 239.5. Both these teams have been playing well. I think this is going to be a real competitive game. The Spurs are 34-45 on the season. They are on a 3-game winning streak and they're 4-0 ATS the last 4 games. They have also clinched a spot in the play-in tournament. Timberwolves are 45-35 on the season. They're 5-5 their last 10 games. Big Cat Anthony Towns has been playing well. T-Wolves are 7-2 ATS for the last 9 home games. So they've been covering at home as well. It's going to be should be an interesting game, good game to watch. I think 8 points is too many in this game. I think I can see the T-Wolves winning this game. I think this is going to be a close competitive game. I don't see them winning by 8 points or more. So I'm going with the San Antonio Spurs cover the +8. I would lean toward the under the 239.5. And the next game is the Memphis Grizzlies at the Denver Nuggets. The Nuggets are 4.5 point favorites at home. They are minus 198 on the money line. The Grizzlies are plus 166 on the money line. Over under for this game is set at 232.5. Tiger Woods just hit a par putt. He is 1 under going on to the 18th hole. If he can complete this round at 1 under, shoot the first round of the Masters under par after coming back from being off that long and all the injuries and stuff, that's pretty damn impressive. If I'm the rest of the players, I'd be a little worried because if fatigue don't get to him, I could see him being competitive the whole weekend. But let's get back to this Nuggets and Grizzlies game. I think it's going to be an interesting game. I'll be honest with you. I'm surprised that the Grizzlies are this big of an under or 4.5 point underdog. I understand the Nuggets are a tough team. Jokic has been playing out of his mind. If you would have said that the Nuggets were going to be in this position, if you would have said that Jamal Murray wouldn't play all season, MJP, like Porter Jr., hasn't played basically all season. Martin's going to be out a lot, and that the Nuggets were still going to be at 47-33, and Jokic would be in the MVP conversation. That's not going to happen. But that's what has happened. Jokic has carried this team, and this is going to be a great game tonight. But I can see this. I think it's going to come down to like a 1 or 2 point game So I like the Memphis Grizzlies here at the +4. But I'm telling you, it wouldn't surprise me at all if the Grizzlies win this game. The Grizzlies are a good team. I know everybody talks about John Morant and how great John Morant is, which is all valid. Like John Morant's an upcoming superstar. But go look at the Memphis Grizzlies record with John Morant don't play. Like 16-2. That's not a knock on Morant. Morant's great. My point is the Grizzlies are a solid, a damn solid team. They are solid. They're not just John Morant. They have a lot of pieces on that team. Everybody has accepted their role, knows their role, and it's just a great team. So I think 4 points is too many points in this game. So I'm going with the Grizzlies at the +4. I would lean toward the uh, under the 232.5. I do like the Grizzlies at the +4. And then last game of the night, you have the Los Angeles Lakers at the Golden State Warriors. The Warriors are 14-point favorites at home. They are minus 1,200 on the money line. The Lakers are plus 750 on the money line. Over under for this game is set at 218.5. The Lakers are 31-48 on the season. They've been eliminated from the playoffs. LeBron James hasn't played the last couple games. We had a lot of people coming out saying he quit on the team. He didn't play the last couple games with the ankle injury. What the report is, they were still in contention to make the play-in. He didn't play. They lost the game. You can say that he quit on his team. I can't get the guy's head know how hurt he was. I can think of a lot of players that would go ahead and play, especially if the playoffs are still on the line, unless they just couldn't. It might have been a thing where LeBron just couldn't. But the Lakers, they basically shut it down. They were 11-28 on the road. They average 111 points per game. Defensively, they give up 114 points per game. The Warriors are 52-29 on the season, and they played great at home this season where they're 30-10. They average 110 points per game, allow 102. I think the Warriors win this game at home. Lakers have injuries. Lakers are out of playoff contention, but I still think 14 points is too many points. What I do like in this game is the over the 218.5. I really like the over the 218.5. But sidewise, I like the Warriors to win the game, but I'm not giving up 14 points to take the Warriors. All right. Before we get to my picks of the day, let's take a look and see a quick update here. Milwaukee Brewers and the Chicago Cubs. The Cubs have taken a 3-1 lead going into in the sixth inning. Cubs went last time we had looked. Brewers was up 1-0. Cubs are up 3-1, sixth inning. Uh, Cubs are minus 310 favorites. Brewers are at plus 230. And the over-under for this game is at 7.5 as of right now. These odds are going off the FanDuel Sportsbook. You have the Guardians and Royals are tipping off here in just about first pitch here in about 5 minutes. Here in about 15 minutes, you have the Pirates and Cardinals getting ready to start. Tiger Woods is on the 18th hole. He's one under on his round so far. We'll see how he does here on the 18th. Thank everybody for joining us. Don't forget, follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all at Gonzo Sports Room. Please go to YouTube, hit that like and subscribe button. Share it to a friend. Please tell a friend about us. We appreciate that as well. And if you're watching on Facebook and Twitch, hit those like and subscribe button or like and follow buttons on there. You can find all of our shows in podcast form as well. Please rate and review the podcast. Go like All Sports, All Plays, ASAP Sports Network as well. We appreciate ASAP Sports Network for letting us be a part of what they have going on. We're about ready to explode. I'm glad I'm a part of it. I'm on a lot of their shows during the day. Now, Easy Money and Sports Video show is also airing there. So make sure you go to support all sports, all plays, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, on all social medias. All right, let's get to my picks of the day. Okay, we'll start with the baseball. In Major League Baseball today, I like the Royals money line over the Guardians. I'm gonna go with the Cardinals money line over the Pirates. The Cincinnati Reds money line over the Braves. The Angels money line against the Houston Astros. And then I'm going to take the Diamondbacks money line against the San Diego Padres. So my picks today in baseball, just to recap, Diamondbacks money line, Angels money line, Reds money line, Cardinals money line, and the Kansas City Royals money line. All right, in the NBA tonight, I like the Orlando Magic plus 13.5, Boston Celtics plus 8, 76ers money line, the Memphis Grizzlies plus 4, and the or the San Antonio Spurs plus 8. So in the NBA, I like the Grizzlies plus 4, Spurs plus 8, 76ers money line, Boston Celtics plus 8, and the Orlando Magic plus 13.5. All right, that's my picks for today. Take a quick look at the Masters, and then we'll before we get out of here. Right now, the favorite to win the Masters is Cameron Smith at plus 470. Of course, he's the leader. Scheffler's at plus 800. McIlroy's at plus 1200. Rahm at plus 1400. And M at plus 1200. You can also don't forget you can also find me tonight on Unscripted at 7 p.m. Eastern. Go check out Unscripted on Facebook, YouTube. I know they're on Facebook. I'm not sure what other things they're on. But Jay McLovin, Logan Landers, and Frankie Cruz. Them guys are great. I'll be on with them again tonight. I'm on with them every Tuesday and Thursday at 7. That's also on the ASAP All Sports Network. Make sure you go check that out over there on the ASAP or on Unscripted. Make sure you follow Unscripted as well. Show them guys some support. I want to thank everybody for joining us today. Don't forget, we're live Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch at Gonzo Sports Room. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, all sports, all plays, ASAP Sports Network. Make sure you like and subscribe, follow on both networks. Follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at Gonzo Sports Room. You can also find this show, Easy Money, a sports betting show, in podcast form on Apple Podcasts, Anchor Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts. Most places you listen to podcasts, you can find us. We also have a sports talk show, GSR, Gonzo Sports Room. It's Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays at 11 p.m. Eastern. You can find it also in podcast form on Anchor Podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, Google Podcasts. Most places you listen to podcasts, you can find it at Gonzo Sports Room. Also, we have a pro wrestling podcast, GWR, Gonzo's Wrestling Room. Our podcast, we drop new episodes every week at 9 a.m. on Sundays. You can find it on Apple Podcast, Anchor Podcast, Spotify, Google Podcasts. Most places you listen to podcasts, you can find it at Gonzo's Wrestling Room. You can find the video version of GWR Gonzo Wrestling Room on YouTube at Gonzo Sports Room. We also stream live independent wrestling shows. We'll be streaming 2 this weekend. As this Saturday, we're going to be in Jeffersonville, Indiana for Flex for Bubba 2. It's a big fundraiser event for a young kid that has epilepsy and some autism. He's had to have like 2 or 3 brain surgeries, and I think he has 3 or 4 more surgeries he has to have. So if you can come out and support Bubba this Saturday night, Jeffersonville, Indiana, bell times at 7. We will be streaming that show live on the Gonzo Sports Room Network. You can find that show live on YouTube and Twitch this Saturday night. Then on Sunday, we will be in Greenfield, Indiana for Summit Pro. Summit Pro has been putting on great shows. We'll be there live streaming the show on YouTube and Twitch at Gonzo Sports Room. So come join us for that. I think we have another big interview lined up for next Wednesday. Should be a great time. I'll get more information about that to come. We had a great interview yesterday with IPW Tag Team Champions Savage Love. It was an awesome interview. If you haven't watched it yet, you can find it on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch at Gonzo Sports Room. Go check it out. They're 2 rising stars in the pro wrestling industry, and I think you'll enjoy the conversation that we had. Thanks for joining us. We will be back tomorrow. On Friday, we will talk more UFC. I'll put out yesterday we done a UFC prediction and preview show. You can find that on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. I'm also going to be putting a clip of that out here on social media here just in a little bit. So go check out that. But we'll talk more tomorrow about the UFC 273 Volkanovski. Man, it's going to be Volkanovski against the Korean Zombie. It's a great card. It's going to be a fun time. We'll talk more about that tomorrow. And then tomorrow we'll also be live with GSR Gonzo Sports Room. So it should be a great time. Got a big weekend in sports with baseball coming back, Masters and golf. NBA's getting down to the playoffs. UFC Saturday night. Got a lot going on. I want to thank everybody for joining us today on Easy Money and Sports Betting Show. Be safe. Enjoy opening day of baseball. And we will see you guys tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern, right here on the Gonzo Sports Room channels or the ASAP All Sports All Plays Network. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day. Peace.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. We talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.